Hello and welcome to the Spaceman YouTube channel. And in this video we'll be talking about, is the Artemis program dying? But first, I want to show you guys these. These are basically what my merch would look like if I had some. I have a sticker and a hoodie and it's really cool. It says the Spaceman, which is what my channel is called. But anyways, is the Artemis program dying?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is the video that won the poll that I just did. Even though it only got 4 votes, it still won, so this is what we're doing. So, by the way, if you don't check my community posts, you should probably go do that, because I do a lot of fun quizzes and polls and stuff like that, and it keeps you updated. But let's talk about what the Artemis program is. The Artemis program is meant to get humans back to the moon. Artemis 1 lifted off with no astronauts in 2022. Artemis 2 is launching this year with a crew on board. They will not land on the moon, they're just going to go in orbit around the moon and then come home. Also, the Artemis program is the replacement to the space shuttle program, but it should have come sooner because we didn't have a replacement for a while. The Artemis program, or the Artemis 1 mission, I'm not sure, I couldn't really find the details, but either the Artemis program right now or the Artemis 1 mission has costed NASA $6 billion, way more than they estimated. That could put the Artemis program at risk from being cancelled because it costed way more money than they originally thought. And with just a lack of public interest like there used to be from the 60s, the Artemis program is at high risk from being cancelled if it costs a lot more money than originally planned. And speaking of plans, the Artemis program doesn't really have one. As it seems right now, the only plan for the Artemis program is to land on the moon a couple times and build a space station around the moon. And yes, they did say they wanted to go and build a base on the moon and stay on the moon long term, but they don't really have a thought out or detailed plan like China does. At least not that we know of. They may have a plan and we don't know of it, but China has literally said what their plan is, and it is very good. They plan on working with Russia to build a moon base in the 2030s, and they seem to have a pretty clear plan of what they want to do. And a moon lander variant of the SpaceX Starship is what will actually send the crew to the moon. The SLS only brings them into orbit, which is a major problem. The reason that is because some people may wonder, why do we even need the SLS if Starship is the thing that's bringing man to the surface? Which they have a good point, because why can't Starship do it all by itself? Just send a couple tanker Starships in orbit around the moon for it to refill. And once the lunar gateway is finished, you can send a normal starship and a lunar starship, and that could be how it works. In a way, Starship is the main problem for the Artemis program because it can't fit inside the SLS, and it could probably do most of it on its own, especially once the lunar gateway is finished, NASA's only real plan as of now. But also, the Starship could be used as a temporary base on the moon, which is another reason why can't the Starship just be used for the entire Artemis program and replace the SLS, the very expensive rocket. And if the Starship replaced the SLS, then NASA can use their money from the Artemis program or the SLS rocket and put it towards other things, like building the modules and stuff like that for the base. And also there's the question, will they actually use the Starship for the Artemis program and replace the SLS? And the answer is maybe. Once the SLS has done many flights, maybe 15 to 20 flights, and the program is getting too expensive, since NASA has said they want this to be a long-term stay on the moon, they might just use the Starship to continue the Artemis program and retire the SLS. But Starship will have to prove itself first because it hasn't had any successful flights yet, and it will have to have many successful flights before they even consider that option. And all it takes really is for one president who doesn't like space to cancel the program because he sees all the money being wasted on a rocket that's not reusable. There are also rumors that the Artemis 3 moon landing will be delayed, which personally I don't think will happen. If it does happen, it might be delayed by like 1 year to 2026, because right now the Artemis 3 moon landing is slated for 2025. I have confidence in SpaceX that they'll get the Starship Moonlander ready in time, but it's the spacesuit that they have to wear on the mission that might hold back the mission for like a year, maybe 2 years at the very most. And what it looks like right now is that NASA's only real plan for the Artemis program is to go back to the moon, stay at the moon, but they don't know how, and the Lunar Gateway. But the Lunar Gateway is only temporary because if they send as many people as they want, then they'll have to replace it with something bigger. Well, that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please consider dropping a like or maybe even subscribing. We have more of this series on the way and some exciting videos soon, so make sure you hit the notification bell not to miss out on those, and yeah. And remember to check the community post because I'm going to do a poll on what my next video should be for the series, and yeah.